Yo, what's up, guys? So, let's talk about real quick, man. Dive into it. Women and treat them poorly. Does it actually work? Okay? And it's one of those things, it's complicated, okay? And I'm gonna tell you why. So, basically, you can't be a straight up douchebag, okay? Don't be a guy who's just mean, everything you comes out of your mouth is mean, disrespectful, because you're gonna attract a very just like a low self-esteem, low quality woman if you do attract one, okay? It's one of those things, it's gonna be a girl who has very little self-worth, okay? And we don't want that, right? We don't want that low quality, just like us as men, we are working ourselves, we are becoming better, getting into shape, you know, practicing semen retention, doing these things that we know we need to do, right? The difficult things that we know we need to do. When you just like be mean to a woman for no reason, in hopes of attracting her, dude, it's not gonna, it's gonna like maybe you're in high school or something. I remember I was in high school when I first learned about like my buddy who was really good with girls. Who was like, he goes, man, he goes, just treat them bad, and it's like crack cocaine to them. And the first girl I tried it on, I was just mean. Like she was annoying. I was in high school, dude, so forgive me. But yeah, I was just mean to her, man. And this girl had like, I just found out, bro, her ex at the time or whatever, this guy she was actually seeing. She was in high school, this dude was in college, man, and they were dating. And bro, he treated her so poorly and was like abusive towards her and hit her and stuff like that. This is the type of girl that, this type of shit worked on. And, bro, as you can imagine, it was a nightmare for me. I started being mean to this girl and now she liked me. And, all it takes, bro, you be mean to her. And, I was just being, at the time, I'm gonna go into like what I think the proper technique is now for nowadays. But I was mean to her, and then one day I just gave her a random compliment, and bro, this confused the fuck out of her. This is literally something that she was texting me, oh my god, like, what do you mean by that, this and that, like, I forgot what I said, but just like said something like nice, off, and I compliment her after being mean to her for like weeks on end. And dude, it's just not a high quality woman I attracted, long story short. However, if you want to do this right, the correct way of being mean is actually, to make it super simple, being a funny asshole, You're making her laugh, but you're teasing her, right? So you're not just, I'm trying to think of like a random example. It's just like one of those things, of course, it has to happen in the moment. But like, instead of like saying the typical nice guy shit, like, when she says, oh, like something she's wearing or something, like, oh yeah, you look so beautiful, like for example, went out with this girl the other day, and this blonde chick, pretty attractive girl, and this jacket thing she was wearing, it just a lot of, she like, before I arrived to date, I got there a little late, and she already said, oh yeah, some guy came up to me and said, I look like a fucking movie star. And she did. She looked like, bro, the way she had her hair curled and this and that, she looked like some blonde fucking actor or whatever. And this and that, and just like throughout the night, we went to a different spot, and this guy tried talking to her. I guess, I was like stepped away for a second. Guy tried talking to her, and same thing. Oh, you look so pretty, like you're a movie star. This jacket, oh my god. And then like, it's one of those things, dude. Like, yeah, compliment a girl if you're attractive, she likes you. It's gonna work. Yeah, she's gonna like you. But if you don't, but it's one of those things, dude. You're boring. Okay, you're boring. But instead, you could tease her in a playful, funny way. She knows you're joking, right? Like for example, oh man, it's actually hard to think of a fucking example, and I don't know why. I thought of some before the video. Now I'm blanking out. But just like, for example, if she's like insecure about something, like, oh man, like fuck, like I have this stain on my fucking shirt or something. Oh my god, I just walked back from the bathroom and like I didn't realize I have fucking toilet paper at the bottom of my shoe. And you could be like, yeah, like literally we were all staring at you laughing. Like the whole restaurant was like looking at you, like staring at you. And like where she knows you're obviously fucking joking, you're full of shit, right? But it's just like one of those things, like you're being a funny dick, right? You're saying something that's like meant to make her kind of laugh, in a genuine way, like laugh. gotta know her sense of humor. Because a different girl that can, make her fucking cry or whatever. We don't deal with those super low self-esteem girls, right? But it's one of those things, like, you just like you teasefully play with them, right? You just like make it so they know you're joking, know you're, we're laughing together, and you just kind of say whatever they say and just like kind of blow it up a little bit, right? Like, for example, she's like, oh yeah, you're probably a player, you probably get with a ton of girls, right? And then I could be like, yeah, like literally I've got with like a fucking 50 girls last night. Say something where it's like you're taking her shit test, and then you're just like making her feel kind of silly, you're being a funny asshole is the simplest way of doing it, right? Or you could be a mean asshole. And that's something, like I said, doesn't really attract the highest quality of women, but it does attract some women out there, right? So you gotta be careful of what you say or do. Like I said, going back to that first example of me in high school, yeah, you can attract chicks being douchebags, but it's not the best kind of girl, man. And you're gonna attract higher quality women by being that funny douchebag type, and just being teasing her, and instead of being serious, you're more playful, right? It's like you got to think of these girls as if like it's kind of like a toddler playing dress up, right? You don't take them seriously. You don't take her too fucking seriously. Think about like your little sister, right? You don't take her too seriously, man. Other guys, guys trying to date her might. The guys who are successful at dating her are the ones who don't. So you gotta be like, think of girls, that you're trying to date as like someone, like say going back to like a toddler playing dress up, or like your little sister. You're not taking them too seriously. You're comfortable with teasing them, right? Like your little sister, like even if you have a little sister, guys find her attractive. Like you think, that she's a pretty girl and that guys like her going after her, but you're not attracted because that's your sister, right? So you're able to tease her and not be intimidated by her. Same way you got to think of when you're like trying to date some girl, okay? Or like get with a girl, attract a woman, right? First of all, we're on our purpose, we're on our grind. We're doing things, we're putting her 4th, 5th, 6th on the list of like important shit in your life, right? Even if you like a girl, you got to have things way more above her than that. You can't be like, oh my God, like I really like kickboxing, I really like, working, I want to work my business, I want to like lose weight at the gym, I want to do this. But all of a sudden you meet this chick and you're like, oh shit, scratch all that shit. She's on top, she's number 1 right now. Fuck that. No. She's got to know that she's low on your fucking list, okay? And it's not like a disrespectful thing. It's more of like a, hey man, I'm a guy. I'm on my grind. They want a guy who's not chased them, a guy who's out and about in the world, doing their thing. And, being a dick works, but you got to be a funny dick, all right? That's how you track the higher quality girls who, she's at the bar fucking waiting for you. Like, for example, the other day, we were supposed to meet at 9:30. I got there because I couldn't find fucking parking. I got there fucking 15, 20 minutes late, right? And, already guys are trying to talk to her at the bar. It's one of those things like, she's getting complimented left and right. Every day, every time she leaves the fucking house, there's some guy trying to spit game at her, right? And, the way you stand out is being a guy who isn't going down the complimentary route, but is going down the route of just being a funny dick, a guy who's being funny and who's like not taking yourself seriously. Yeah, you're pretty, but fucking I can get pretty girls left and right. That's what type of mindset you gotta have, right? So anyways, guys, we'll dive this on another video. It's getting kind of long. Shoot me a text, 786-897-4754. Peace.